Hi, this is Michael Uslan. You're listening to Batman on Film.
I'm vengeance.
I have given a name to my pain.
The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill the Bat of Gotham. I'm Batman.
Welcome to episode number 127 of the BOF Social Hour, a Batman on Film podcast. This is my little podcast, my little corner of Batman on Film, podcast wise. And when I say I'm Bill Ramey. I founded, created, started, whatever you want to use, Batman on Film way back in 1998, 25 years ago. Ron Lauer, senior BOF contributor. He's back.
My goodness.
We're back together. Yes. How are you,
Yeah.
sir?
Reunited, and it feels so good.
Yeah.
Doing great.
Okay.
Busy, as you know.
Yeah.
When we talk stuff, but hey, here we are talking Batman. So
That's what we're gonna do on
it's a
this?
favorite thing to do. What's that?
Yeah. We're going to talk Batman, right?
Yeah. That's a good time.
Ooh, okay.
I know.
That's out of
Throwing a
that's out
curveball
kind of
into the mix.
Yeah, out of the box, for this show.
I like how
but
you
yeah,
said
okay.
this is your little corner.
Yeah.
I like how you say that, like this is your little corner of the website that's all yours. And this is your little thing that you get to do.
know that I all the contributors, I'd like to make them feel ownership, right?
Yeah. But Bill, we all know we don't own anything. We know this is Bill's site, but
Yeah.
but that's okay. Appreciate it. Nonetheless.
Well, news is Batman on Film news is a little slow because of those strikes.
Mhm.
I think it'd be a little slow regardless, but we would be. We're getting closer to when Matt Reeves is going to start filming. It's supposed to start in November. Apparently, it's
I
going
think they got
move,
pushed back. Yeah.
pushed back to like February, early next year,
Mhm.
which is fine. So, because I was like thinking before the strikes, I was like, people would ask, and it probably was in mailboxes. I think we even talked about it here in this space. Is that when will we hear about casting? And I was like, it's got to be later, the latter part of the summer into
Mhm.
the early fall, because if they're going to start filming in November, then
Yeah.
so we're probably missing that around this time. And the Brave and the Bold, which is the other solo Batman film. Kind of, do we really call it a solo Batman film? It's almost like a Batman family film is what it's going to end up being. Yeah. So
Yeah.
whatever, but you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
That's a ways off. Should be it, and it should be a ways off. That's a whole different topic. But yeah, and the Penguin, the Penguin got shut down. We've probably been hearing a lot about the Penguin right now, but hopefully things will get worked out here soon, and we'll pick up the pace and talk about something current. But since this is Batman on Film, we've been kicking around topics, and so we're going to address
Just
some,
because we've got to stretch our muscles still
yeah,
to prepare for the sprint next year.
Yes.
They're the next 2 years, basically, when all the other stuff's the new stuff picks up and starts dropping. It's like we can't just go hopping right in a race. You got to do your stretches. So
you
going.
got to prepare. You have to
Mhm.
get everything.
You know
The
this
muscles,
as a football coach for years. Did you guys ever just show up, put on stuff, and just start the game?
No, heck no.
That'd be silly.
You have to have 2-a-days and practice for a month 6 weeks before you even get to a game.
All right, so
repetition, drill and repeat. Yeah.
let's stall Batman talk for just another couple minutes.
Okay.
As a coach, did
Yeah.
you like two-a-days?
uh
Well, how
Not
were yours
really.
orchestrated? How were your two-a-days? What were the time?
As a coach,
Yeah, as a coach.
okay. When I played, and this was in the 80s, right? Early 80s,
Mhm.
different period completely. You know, we went in the morning, like at 7 to 9, and then, you know, five to 7 or 3 to, I mean, whatever in the afternoon. So there was, but by the time I started coaching, there started to make some, you know, the heat factor really started
Yeah.
becoming an issue, and like not like it, you know, I was in the day we got like when I played, you know, like maybe 4 water breaks over that whole period, you know, and you know now, and by the time when I stopped coaching and retired, it was, I mean, kids could get water whenever they
Mhm.
wanted. It was right there available, you know, and that's the way to do it, you know.
Mhm.
I don't know how more people didn't fall. And back in the day, you know, in the 50s and 60s, it's like, if you drink water, you're weak, you know, that kind of, I don't know how.
Drink your spit.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I hear stories about people. I mean, they would be wringing out their jerseys, you know, with the sweat
Ugh.
just to have some moisture back, you know. But you know, things have changed quite a bit, obviously. So by the time I even started coaching, we'd have two-a-days, and it would be like 6 to 8, and then they would take it like an hour off
Mhm.
and go 9 to 11, or yeah, and then that'd be done. You know, before the heat really kicked up. And like nowadays, I don't know how much two-a-days they are actually really doing anymore. They've, you know, one thing here in Texas, I mean, they're almost able to practice all damn summer. You know, they have camps, quote unquote, skill camps and stuff. So anyway, yeah, I'm off on that tangent. So it's like much different from even when I started coaching to when I ended, and especially when I was playing. So yeah, yeah, they
I,
they make
I
sure the kids don't get overheated. But no, I did not like two-a-days as a player, and I
okay.
wasn't all that fond of them as a coach, because it's like, geez, you know, it's
Yeah.
that's a
That
long,
I'm
a lot of
trying to think.
practice.
It was split in high school and I honestly can't remember which one was the first few years and which one was the back half, but
Yeah.
there was a time where it was the 7:30 to 12:30. And there was about an hour there right in the middle that was like we were inside, and that was like,
Yeah.
take off the pads, and then but we were
Yes.
still
Yeah.
watching stuff or
Yeah.
whatever.
That's what I was
And
that's what I was talking about earlier, you know.
it was that way one either my freshman sophomore year or my junior and senior year, and then the flip side, then eventually it did like 2.5 hours in the morning, all day break, and then 2.5 hours in the
Oh, they
evening.
went back to the old schools. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, so I don't remember which one was which. I almost feel like we started with the 5 hours, but it was almost either way. I didn't like it because it was ruining my summer and I had to get up early.
Yeah.
um but then,
Yeah.
and though we liked the fact of, hey, it's only half the length in the morning, then we can go home or whatever, you had that dread of, shit, we still
Yeah.
gotta go back out there
I
again.
remember. Yeah. I mean, it's like you practice in the morning. This is me. This is the player of me. And you practice, it's over, and you're like, you know, you get that relief, it's over,
Mm-hmm.
and you go home, and it just hangs over you. I
It
got to
does,
go
yeah.
back. I got to go back in 6 hours.
And
Or
I
whatever.
didn't wise up on that, I don't think, until later on. I'm just like, I'm out here. Let's just get it all over with now. Like,
Yeah.
but oh well, good times.
So I remember
When
we
those
do that
when
as a,
those were my biggest problems.
yeah, as a coach, we practice early, like 6 to 8, and then they'd go into the gym, it's like you said, take your stuff off, and there would be like oranges and
Yeah.
bananas and stuff like that, and all the fluid you could drink, and the gym would be cold as hell, and then go out, and it's probably like an hour, and two hour and a half plus sessions, and then they were before noon they were gone. So yeah, I would.
However
prefer that
hot
as
I
a
thought it was
player.
here. Oof, Texas. Oof.
Well, look, they're practicing right now. Okay,
Yeah.
high schools have already started practicing, and look, it was only 99 yesterday, and I was like, man, that was cool compared to it's been. If when I say it's hot as a tech, it's I mean it's freaking hot.
Yeah.
It's like 111, 112. Like, come on, man.
Big
So
old
anyway, I didn't
71
mean to get
here
into
right
weather
now.
talk, but I am ready. I am ready to for some fall
football.
weather. Like I told you off the air, when the announcer when she joins me in retirement, I'm not really retired. It'll be a different word. I left the education profession. Is that about that?
Well, I don't know that that's a good term though either, because then I might be like, I
Yeah.
left the education.
So
You're doing what you want. There you go.
yeah,
You're
I
doing
mean,
what
Batman
you
on
want.
film.
You're living like Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, that's what I'm Bruce Wayne.
Exactly.
So anyway, when she joins me in this, when she is able to do exactly what she wants, I'll be spending 2 or 3 months in Minnesota.
Yeah.
June, July, August, or
Yeah.
mid-June to mid-September. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
there you go. I just checked
The
what we got.
announcer, the
Yeah.
star of the last podcast, BOF
Yeah.
podcast. Or
Now
not
she's got a
podcast,
little
Social Hour.
personality, right? She's got a little personality. Yeah.
Yep.
She was
Which I
English
told
and-
you it was very entertaining. And I know I'm not alone in that.
Thanks.
So hopefully she returns.
She was English and then speech and communications major.
Oh, there you go. She
Yeah.
knew what to do.
Yeah.
She knew her talking points.
So there'll be more of that coming up.
There you go.
We'll be guesting on this show coming up. All right, we're gonna talk some Batman on film. So we
All right.
decided we're gonna have various topics.
Yeah.
We'll bring up here on this show over the next whatever, as long as we want, whenever we
There you
want.
go.
It's the way it goes around here. We talk about what we want whenever we want, and really, get into some. How would you describe it? It's not really obscure topics, but some kind of very specific type.
There you go. Specific,
topics.
unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes to Batman on film, and today we're going to talk about. We're going to give our top 3. I bet we have some crossover here. Some will probably match up with each other, be the same, but that's fine. Top 3 moments in Batman on film when Batman's first appearance, our introduction to Batman in these movies, and we did include animation, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just tough.
It was tough to pick.
I have an honorable mention as well because just for the sake of conversation, but
Yeah.
I'll wait and use that at the very end and see if we
Okay, we'll
overlap
do
at all.
honorable mention at the end. Okay.
But I think I have to go for number 3 is the Lego Batman movie. So we
Okay.
do have animation
Okay.
included here.
Warner Bros. Well, not Warner Brothers. I don't know. DC. The house that Batman built. Yeah, what, Superman? Come at me, bro. I'm your kryptonite.
Okay.
And that is because that pure entertainment factor from the get-go with it takes a break to set up the villains, and then in comes Batman to just wreak havoc on the place. So why would that be a top 3 for me? Because number 1, it's so damn entertaining. I gotta mention, of course, his narration at the beginning of Black.
Yeah.
All serious movies begin in black. We all know it. We've been watching it and know all that stuff. And the Warner Bros. DC, the house that Batman built,
Yeah.
take it.
So from the very
take that
beginning,
Superman,
the
yes,
very beginning up through the whole action piece, right? Is what you're talking
sets
about.
it great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then with it, come at me, bro. You know, and all that is good. And then you get the Joker set up, and you see all these villains and everything. And then surprise Batman, he was dressed up as the Mariah Carey mayor, and then it kicks it right into, you want to get nuts, let's get nuts, which of course all of us instantly, you know, we giggle because we know what that Easter egg is.
Mhm.
And then you get a better, more amped up Batman rock song, metal song than what we got in the Lego movie that we all laughed at and loved. We got that on steroids, but it wasn't obnoxious. It was hilarious. The lyrics are hilarious, but on top of it, like, it's just coming at you with so much crap. And I mean crap in a good way. Of course. I love the design of the Lego Batman. I love his voice throughout all of it. And then he's just, to watch it too, and he's just kicking the ass of all the Lego Batman villains. But then there's so much like comedy mixed in with it too. The highlight, of course, is like as Poison Ivy's going to kiss him, and then he's using the grapple gun to like penguins, and he's just grabbing penguins to throw up between him and Poison Ivy. Like, I think that's a hilarious bit. And then it ends with what calms down, and it's so fitting because it is like very accurate to the Joker Batman relationship. I don't do ships. Like, it's freaking hilarious, but it's also like, it's spot on. I just think like, and I'm glad that the movie settles down after that, because I don't think you could go too much longer at that, you know, ramped at that level. But I think for an introduction to a movie, like, holy shit, it's balls to the wall for 12 minutes, like nonstop. And I don't know, there's so many fun nuggets for all of us fans, and then not at any point is it making a mockery of the Batman character, making fun of him, dumping on him or anything. I just like that. That's just up there. And I even watched it again this morning because I'm like, to solidify this, I need to rewatch this. And it's great.
Yeah.
And the quiver of the, I mean, it's not Batman, it's Joker, but the quiver, I know that there's I think on the commentary, oh man, I'm forgetting his name. The director, Chris McKay.
Yeah.
On a commentary with him and I think some editors on it and everything, and they even said too, like when they showed it and that quiver on the Joker, and they were just like, oh my god, everybody just freaking lost it on just that quiver, on how Batman's just breaking his heart. I don't do ships, I like to fight around, like all that. It's just gold.
I like to fight. Yes,
like to fight
it is
around.
great. It's one of my favorite Batman movies. And yes, I mean, from the very beginning to the end of that, you know, that action piece, the voiceover stuff is fantastic. I mean, Warner Bros. You know,
Warner Bros. I don't know.
So, come at me, bro. Yes, you know, the house that Batman built. So.
and I forget the line, shame on me, but when it's like the gotta make a change. Who? I don't know who said that. I said that. And then you hear like the guitar again, and then it changes it to like Batman. That's a Batman quote sort of deal too. Yeah. It's all just it's great.
Yeah. Yep, it is. Number 3 on my list is
Where are you? Here.
the dock scene from Batman Begins.
There you go.
First time we see Batman, I love how Nolan shot it from the perspective of the bad guys. You know, you would, you know, up in the rafters or wherever in the little warehouse area of the docks, and you never see him, and he's shadow, and you know, you gets hit, you know, you get hit with some batarangs and go down, and you know, they find the batarang, and then the guy, you know, just shooting the the gun, you know, where are you? And then it's just an ass whipping. You know, it's I know people complain like, oh, so he would have pulled back and you could have seen more of that, but I totally get what Chris Nolan was doing there, the way they shot that, because it's like you're in the middle of it. But Batman's kicking ass and you're right there in the middle, and that's what it would probably feel like. You get that feeling there. And then with the whole Carmine Falcone, I think called in Begins, it was Falcone
in there.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, he's in there and he's loading up the gun and he's looking around, and you know, you can just hear, you know, on top of the car. And then, you know, what are you? Then you get the whole classic, I'm Batman from Christian Bale. So I think that's, and even, you know, I thought the nice coat thing, the guy that he had given his expensive fancy coat to years before when he left Gotham, you know, nice coat. I love the dock scene. So thoughts on that yourself?
That was a cheer moment. So I knew the here part, because I don't know if it had to be a TV spot or a trailer, but they did not the whole entirety of it, but there was that small snippet of the guy.
Yeah, where are you? Yeah.
Where are you? Here. And then it was like, boom, Batman Begins. And I'm like, now that's a good snippet this is a new take on Batman and bringing it back, whatever. Like, that's a great 3 seconds to cap and generate interest. And then the scene as a whole is, as you know, there's music throughout, and then as Nolan does effectively throughout the trilogy, though, it's like there's no score there. It drops to really play up that whole fear, and it only works that Batman is seen in like flashes, basically, that whole dock scene. It's awesome. And then and the guy finally, when he's looking up and the camera shows, and as he's hanging there,
he's hanging like a
drops.
bat upside down. Fantastic.
That's cool. And definitely when he gets Falcone and you know, nice coat, and then he just disappears into the black sky too, is really effective. And of course, that, because I think everybody needs an introduction, and that's too bad. Something that we not opening up a window didn't get with Affleck, didn't get I'm Batman or anything sort of intro like that, in which maybe it wouldn't have worked. I don't know. That's not the point. But I like, those are great moments too. So I love that he gets to really look Falcone in the face and sort of deal.
And there's
of course.
What's great about it also is, you know, Nolan used kind of the Superman, the movie template of kind of there was a build up to when we see Superman, to there's a build up to when we see Batman. So you know, you're waiting, you know, you're kind of wait, you know, what 45 minutes, an hour before we see Batman. So the build up, it's really, I loved it. So yes, that would be number 3 on my list. All right, number 2.
I'm not surprised that pick is there for you.
Okay, number 2.
I knew it was going to show up.
Yeah, did you? Okay.
This is tough.
Yeah,
this is tough. But I feel like I almost feel like ours are going to overlap.
They might,
but that's
whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2 for me, and there was a lot of thought on this one. And if I get to an honorable mention, I'll tell you why. But I really tried to make sure to filter out if this was recency bias. It's I'm Vengeance.
See this guy? The hell are you supposed to be?
I'm Vengeance.
Guess what?
Is that your number 2?
That's number 2.
That's your number 2.
Yes. Let's talk about it.
Go back and you can listen to our chapter by chapter. You can listen to our spoiler review, maybe even our spoiler-free review, and I think I went on and on about this scene.
Well, hell, we did a whole podcast just on this scene, the chapter by chapter. Yeah. So
it's the after the Riddler takes out the mirror, and then you get that thunder narration.
Yeah.
With music, the rain hitting that signal, everything. And it's just rising up until, and then just falls. And then when Batman coming in from the darkness, I'm just repeating myself and what everybody else experienced as well. But it was just like, holy shit, this is an all-timer. Like from the get-go. And here I thought, we watched that first Fandom trailer 117 times before we saw the movie, so we think, oh, I know this fight, but it didn't take away from watching it on opening night on my 10th viewing or anything. That's still like a build up to him coming in, and then when he does come in, and then him kicking ass and everything, like that's such a great entrance.
It's the whole thing, the voiceover from Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne. Even the sounds, the little, the rain, like you mentioned, even when it hits when the rain hits the bat signal, it's almost like it's steaming because it's hot. And when Pattinson come, you hear the
spurs, like spurs.
Yeah, and he comes, and you see him comes in. And he has the look on his face is just sheer, I'm pissed off as hell.
Yeah.
I'm pissed off, almost like he's, so almost shaking. And the reaction from the thugs, the gang, of kind of like, almost, look at this guy. It's almost, and there's a little bit of nervous laughter as well. And then that one dude, the one that they're trying to initiate, he knows he ain't laughing. You know what I'm, he's not laughing. And then Batman kicks their ass, and he takes some shots. I like that part too. He just wasn't like it's not like the warehouse warehouse scene in BVS that looks like an Arkham game, almost, where Batman's just pummels people. It shows that, this is some serious shit. Is, you don't just go out there and whip their ass, even though he did take them all down. He took some shots, So, and then the whole, who the hell you think you are? And then, on vengeance,
Yeah.
And then the way he looks, and then he looks up at them, they're all like, holy fuck, let's get the hell out of here,
What are we doing?
And lest we forget, really a great moment in that, he saves the dude who got off the subway train, the rail, whatever, the train. And that guy's scared as hell of him, don't hurt me, And you compare that to the end of the movie. We talked about this with when he helps the people leave, and then the girl that grabs him because she's scared, Yeah. Woo. Yeah.
Goes full circle.
Yeah. So yeah, that's number 2 on my list as well.
I just can't.
I damn near put it at number 1. I did. I thought about it.
That's what I wondered too. I'm like, I just feel like this one's probably on Bill's list, so it's gonna be covered. It's gonna be talked about. But also, I'm not playing let's not choose. Let's work it around. It's like, no, what's my list? And so, it was that too, of like, the movie's not that old, so maybe it's fresh to me. I'm like, no, it's still fresh because it's still freaking good.
Yeah.
Like when I saw the Batman in concert, and and that scene hit, like, goddamn. And I think the first viewing, the early screening, when I saw it too, I think there was some clapping and shit too in the packed theater of when he did that. And I'm like, this is like, if I have to watch, if I'm going to watch any part of that movie, like that might be where I go to.
Yeah. It's
first.
like someone's putting a gun to your head. You're going to watch the Batman right
Yeah,
now.
I'm like, God damn it, you son of a bitch. But yeah, that's the part that I'll go to. I can't get sick of it. That track on that score, You Can't Fight City, Halloween. That's my favorite track on the score. So add building that atmosphere and build, like, I don't know. Now I'm just repeating myself, but
I'm with you. It's great. I'm getting down to top three. I figured, the likelihood of being some overlap and some same choices
sure.
would be fine, but whatever.
Whatever.
We can talk about whatever hell we want to talk about here. Right?
Damn it. This is your little corner of Batman on
Yeah.
film.
I don't want to, say, how some people were, it's almost like a troll where I'm going to pick some that are out of the, that most people wouldn't pick or like.
Yeah. I'm
just
trying to be artsy.
Yeah, and trying to be cool and just it's basically it's like that's what sports TV talk on it's become, bunch of bullshit, hot takes. Okay, Ryan, before we get to our number one, we shall see. Let's stop for just a moment for these words from our sponsors. So, all right, let's get to number one on your list.
Do you want to do number one first?
No, go ahead.
No?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how we started.
I feel that this might be an overlap too.
It might be, but whatever.
Batman 1989 entrance.
Don't kill me, man! Don't kill me! Don't kill me, man!
I'm not going to kill you. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
I don't know. It's the one, I don't know. Everything almost gets measured up to that because that was my first. It's an awesome entrance. It's the mood of everything, just the way that Batman just the screaming, and yes, I do understand that it's computer animated of Batman, like the Batman turning around and walking,
almost
that first
like
quote
old
unquote shot of him,
yeah, just painted, animation.
And I thought that they actually filmed the scene of him, it might have been the stunt guy on a gargoyle for that part. And I don't know why they didn't use that, but also maybe they showed too much of Batman, and in the end it was just like, no, we don't want to show him in full yet. When he drops down behind the two goons,
yeah,
that's when we want to see him first. But all of that's awesome. The look of it, of Batman just coming down in that cave, like that's just a great shot. And then spreading those, I say wings, spreading his cape over them. And then at the very end too, what are you? I'm Batman. And the way that they cut that down, because I forget what I think in the
line
adaptation,
was.
In the comic adaptation,
the guy goes, "You don't own the night," and he goes, "I am the night."
Yeah, and I'm like, I think I like just I'm Batman.
Yeah,
like that just works. It just works better. I know that's what it is.
If I recall correctly, Graceland Ramey joins the show.
Yep, she has an opinion.
Yes, she. Yes, ma'am. Okay. I think Keaton suggested that. I just go with what are you?
More.
I'm Batman instead of I am the night. So yeah.
He said, you know what? Let's save that for Kevin Conroy in 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what happened. He had the foresight.
Yeah. It was well, you know what? It's number one on my list as well.
Hey, look at that.
What are the odds? I can't even say if that was. Now, I did strongly consider Vengeance from the Batman as number one, but at the end of the day, when I had to really narrow it down and make a number, it has to be Batman 89. That's just that was so different than what we had seen in live action before. The last time we've seen Batman in live action with, no offense, because I love the 66 series, but that was people's idea, general audience idea of Batman was that until that movie. And that was just and it was different because really the only thing we've known before was Superman, the movie. And we talked about earlier, then, kind of Nolan patterned Batman Begins after it, as far as, the way the movie played out. But we see Batman right from the get-go. Right from the get-go. There's no origin, there's no build-up, none of that. And I remember seeing an interview back, Burton talking about, we're just getting right to it from the beginning, So, yeah, Batman 89 has to be.
So now that we're 30, so when Pattinson's Batman was introduced, that was 2022. So it's 33 years after Keaton. Do you think that and anybody going forward is those kind of things are measured up against Keaton? Or do you think by now it's measured up against the previous and maybe the one before that?
Oh, good question.
Because of course Kilmer would have been put up against Keaton, but it's but Keaton was the one right before him. Clooney would have been put up against Keaton, but that's but that he wasn't too far removed from Keaton. And so I'm just kind of curious.
In my mind, and from where I'm at, and I'm a fan, it always goes back to Keaton. Maybe for general audience, it's different. But to me, like the standard bearer is Batman. I'm Batman 89.
Yeah.
So,
and I know for nerds like us, we're gonna we can just rapid fire and go through the list of Pattinson, Affleck, Bale, Clooney, Kilmer, Keaton, and we will compare all of them together and stuff.
Yeah.
But I kind of wonder especially because in my mind it's because 89 came out, like I said, I was 2.5. So to me, Keaton's Batman's always been there.
Yeah.
So that to me was because I saw Keaton Batman before I ever saw West's Batman. So it was to me, that was where compared to each iteration. So but I'm a nerd, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe most people don't care.
How about honorable mentions?
All right. Obviously, Begins entrance is awesome. I, though, for odd reasons, was debating throwing in the Dark Knight Batman introduction.
Don't let me find you out here again.
We're trying to help you.
I don't need help.
Not my diagnosis. What gives you the right? What's the difference between you and me?
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
For one reason or two reasons. One is that that scene was picking up as a continuation, a direct continuation follow-up to the previous movie, and that had never happened before in a Batman movie. And then also even going more specific with that was Cillian Murphy's Scarecrow was the first time that a Batman villain played by the same guy showed up in a second, again in another Batman movie. And I remember even in the 90s thinking that before, of kind of it really sucks that these villains die and they never come back in another movie. It'd be awesome if they came back in another movie. And then here was a case where finally Scarecrow was a villain in the last movie and he's showing up again in this movie. Now add into it the Tumblr crashing through, which I love the Tumblr.
Yeah.
And then I think Nolan has a good way with humor. in that for whatever reason, I can't remember what the setting was when it shows the interior of the tumbler and on the screen, and then it says intimidate, and then it fires the two like missiles or whatever, and then Batman's just there, and then just kicks ass. And then the exclamation on it was him like jumping down on the parking lot or the parking garage, and then flattening the van to stop Crane. Like, I love that scene. I love that intro of Batman for a variety of reasons. It's just, in the end, I'm like, oh, but I don't think Graceland agrees. I don't think I don't think it definitely doesn't top the three that I mentioned. And I don't know if it would maybe top the Begins introduction of him. I'm not sure. So those are the two. A lot of affinity, obviously, because we talked about The Dark Knight and how much I love it and everything like last month. But a lot of love for that scene too.
All right. This is going to be controversial.
Batman vs Superman. Justice League 2017.
I have an honorable mention. Honorable mention here. First time we see Val Kilmer as Batman in Batman Forever.
Persuade you to take a sandwich with you, sir?
I'll get drive-through.
The whole suit up,
mm-hmm.
The gadgets, the walking up, the staircase with, you see the boots, the Batmobile coming up, spiraling up to the top. And then there's that quick, shot of Val Kilmer's Batman. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, the whole, and it doesn't even bother me. I kind of took it as kind of like, the same kind of humor is you had Superman 78 with, when he sees the 1978 version of a phone booth, just the cover, and he looks at it and does a double take with the whole, can I persuade you to take a sandwich with you, sir? And I'll get a drive through. And then, and then I also combine that with, I think the whole action piece is really, really well done with Two-Face. It's more comic booky than anything we've mentioned so far,
True.
But
especially when the goons go,
yeah. It's almost like Mel Blanc type,
Oh my gosh, yes.
Looney Tunes
yeah.
sound. That's always how I always thought it. They must have pulled that out of the Warner Brothers animation.
Oh, that's funny.
But it's I like the fault, even though, I come to find out here recently that a lot of the dialogue by the guard was done in post to make it sillier in a way, it's boiling acid, so my glasses are melting,
Yeah.
So, that's my hearing aid. I even like that. I like Batman grabbing the hearing aid. I know, thanks, and he, gets out of that's a death trap thing, right?
Death trap.
Yeah, exactly. And gets out, hold on, and he goes right back where it was, right where it came in, out of the building. And, he takes on Two-Face. I just think I like the whole action piece, just that cold, that cold opening almost with introduced to the new Batman,
Sure.
Goes to Gotham,
The
two
right
things.
approach
Yeah.
for that movie, I think, I many things of how you can say like how what that movie was going for and stuff too, and it's a new Batman and stuff of different from what we'd seen previously also.
Yeah.
Of like really scoping out the Batcave and watching him get ready and stuff that we hadn't seen in the two previous movies.
Yeah. I just I thought I can put that on what from the beginning of the movie, because I even like I really like the Elliot Goldenthal score. I like that Batman theme, and I like the and all the the very kind of Superman, the movie-ish type of flying credits and so forth, that, and then the suit up scene, and then we get to the whole Two-Face. I can watch that, put that in and watch it and go and be entertained for 5 minutes, 6-7 minutes. And it's funny how that was actually originally intended to come later in the film. Actually, when Bruce goes to Wayne Enterprises, that first time we see him, that's where he meets Edward Nygma. Get to work, Nygma. That's Mr. Freeze works for Wayne Enterprises.
To work, Edward. Some people are trying to keep us apart.
And when he sees,
times.
Bruce sees the bat signal while he's there, that would have led into, that's when he goes. That would have led into the opening segment. So
that's
anyway.
I remember the novelization has it at that point too, which the novelization was a pretty fascinating read of reorganizing the movie.
I was
like, interesting.
That is very much what the original cut was, and the original, with the whole Red Diary subplot, whatnot. But anyway, back to not to get on a Batman Forever tangent, but yes, I like the first time we see Batman in
Kilmer suiting up. Honorable mention. All right, there you go.
Yeah. So, any others you want to just mention? But what the hell? I will say a shout out to. I do agree with a lot with the Lego Batman movie. It's fantastic. It's a lot like I can put that in, not watch the whole movie, but watch that whole segment, kind of like Batman Forever, that whole opening and then the action segment, and go, yeah, that was fun. I was entertained quite a bit. Yeah,
for sure. We know he's coming, but it's also, the Dark Knight Returns in Dark Knight Rises. So when Batman comes back, I think that's a highlight scene of the whole movie. It's not up there in front of any that I've mentioned. In Batman vs Superman, he's just kind of hidden. To be technically accurate, he first appears, he's hiding in a corner and he's kind of blurry, and then he crawls out the house. Like, that's not, I get, like, as far as like on the rankings of introductions, that's kind of like sort of, there's not much to it. He's out of focus in the background and then quickly crawls out of the shot, and that's his intro for that scene. If the warehouse battle later, which I know your feelings on that one, if that was the intro to it, I love that. That scene, like, that's a different beast, but instead he's just kind of teased, and I think he's teased very, it was like maybe it's harsh, but like lackluster tease there. So it's like meh. And now I know I'm just going through each movie. I didn't mind. I kind of liked the Justice League, the Joss Whedon added opening of him on the roof. It was cool. I know in the end he's fighting an alien, which that's the whole freaking movie, but it wasn't too bad. But yeah, there we go. And I see no other animation ones stand out, and I think that's why Lego Batman really is out there.
I was going to say I would throw in Would you put Mask of the Phantasm as an
See,
honorable
the movie
mention?
as a whole, but as far as like his intro, and I've seen that movie, I can't even tell you how many times, but yet I'm struggling of like, how does he enter that movie? Because I envision as he's chasing in the parking garage
Mm-hmm.
of that guy, and then but it's like that's what I can remember of him, his entrance. And so
Yeah.
if he has this massive
Yeah.
entrance and I'm
You know,
forgetting,
always,
then somebody's
I know
gonna
it's
come
not the
after
first
me.
time we see him, but it is always when I think of Phantasm, it's when he first put the scene when he first puts on the bat
Yep.
suit and Alfred's, reaction
Mhm.
is that's what I think, because I know it's not, but it in my mind, it's kind of the intro, but I think that's cool, very cool, awesome scene.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I mean, it's not his first appearance in the movie,
I know.
so then it is.
I know.
Like,
Doesn't
damn
get
it, now I need to rewatch
Get it
the
out of
movie.
there. Get it out.
Yeah.
Doesn't count.
Get out of
Whatever.
here.
Okay. All right. Real quick before we go, I
Sure.
wanted to ask you, have you any bat additions to your collection here lately?
I did complete. Well, yes. So the Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles omnibus.
Okay.
The 3 crossover series James Tynion and Freddie Williams did finally been collected in one hardcover, a lot of awesome extras. Highly recommended for people that are fans of both because they're great series. Obviously I'm a massive Turtles fan. You know this.
Yeah. I'm going to see it today. Wanted to see the new movie today. Me and Micah.
With Micah?
Yeah.
All right, good. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah.
And let me know what you think of it afterwards. But that book, but then also I've had it for a while, 2 months, not even. Finally completed the Lego Batman Returns Batcave.
Cool.
3,900 pieces.
Wow.
It's big, but it is, I think I can confidently say, my favorite Lego build I've ever done. It's awesome. You've seen the pictures of it online.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They don't do it justice. It's like it's awesome.
Yeah.
The amount of things added in there. I was curious of how the hell are they going to have me construct a box that opens like a book, but then on the outside part, like they cut out the Batman, the Batman symbol. And sure enough, Lego, those guys, magicians. Doesn't make good for video for a podcast, so I'm not going to go take it and show it right here. But like,
yeah,
holy moly, it's awesome. That's my crowning achievement for this year. So those are the two. Or no, I got the have you seen the Secret Lab Batman chair?
Yeah, I've seen it. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you got one?
I got that. Yeah, because I've been needing an office chair for a while and I kept holding off and finally just bit the bullet. So I got that too. In which, yes, it's a computer chair, but it's very comfortable. A lot better than what I had, and it's got the bat symbol on each side of it. And then it even came in a box that has the bat symbol all over it, and a bag that covered the back of it that has the bat symbol all over it. So of course I saved them. I don't know what I'm going to do with the box.
I
and
want
bag,
that. I got to talk the announcer and on that one.
Those are my additions. Though.
Yeah, I got the new. I think it's new. They were on McFarlane. I got anyway. I don't know if it's new or not, but it's from McFarlane. I got the Two-Face action figure.
This
from Batman 66. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that one looks cool. I know it's from the comic that they released, but yeah, I think it looks cool.
I've got a bunch of the 66 stuff, that first round of stuff that came out years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Mattel? They come out. Who was that? Kenner?
Oh man. I don't even want to say because
someone's going to take
will come and get me.
Yeah, they'll take our toy cards away from us now. But yeah, I have so much of that I didn't see getting doubling up just because it's McFarlane, but I don't have a Two-Face, so I got that.
Do you have an Egghead?
No, I got to get hold of that. There's one I'm looking.
They've got them And my Target still has, I think, has Egghead. And now my Target has Egghead, King Tut, and Two-Face. And with 66, I knew it was going to be a problem if I went more. I usually try to get all like Batman figures that I really like the suit. So obviously when when McFarlane dropped the first wave and it was Adam West Batman, I picked that up, but then I refrained from getting Robin and any of the villains, even though I wanted them. But then I broke my rule when they released Egghead because I had to. And that Two-Face one I've almost done a couple times too.
Is there a Funko Pop of King Tut from Batman 66?
I don't know.
Because I want to say that's like, I thought there was,
Yes.
and it like was evading my collection. So I've got
and
most
so
of
I just typed on
66.
eBay price new is $6.99. So I'm sure if you need it, Bill, it looks like it's gonna be affordable.
Okay.
Yeah, it's affordable.
Yeah.
The announcer
All right.
right now just like shivered. She's like, "Is Bill buying more Batman stuff?"
Yes. Anyway,
Yes,
I got the Two-Face from Batman 66 McFarlane. I did get the three. I got 3 of the 4 McFarlane the Dark Knight trilogy.
Oh yeah.
I got Joker, Two-Face. I didn't have a Two-Face, and didn't have a Scarecrow. Got that. Joker, okay, is it supposed to be like that? His outfit, the coloring is different than the film. Is it intended to be like that?
I wasn't impressed. I've got the Dark Knight Rises Batman figure I still have, and I liked how it looked out. So I'm like, I don't necessarily need to double dip. I don't need to build a Bane because I still have the Bane figure from Rises. I've got the Joker figure from 2008 that looks really, really good.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't need to double
I
up
have
on that.
those.
I wanted a Scarecrow, but
Yeah.
also I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I can hold off. So that's kind of why I passed on those, even though initially I thought I'd dip in.
The Joker, I mean, like his hair is a bright green, not a dirty green.
Yeah.
His suit is black instead of purple.
I'd much rather have the bank robber Joker.
Yeah,
that was
I would like that.
A Comic-Con exclusive, which is too bad.
His shirt is green. He has a black tie. The vest is purple gloves. His shoes are, and you can see they're, he wore, I think, these brown shoes. These are like, I don't know, some kind of Oxford, like black and white combination. So anyway, I got the son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
And I did order, and it's not in yet. I got that Batman on film set for McFarlane pre-ordered.
Oh yeah. So see, I'm looking up a picture online, and his suit. So one figure pops up, and it's showing the figure, and it's purple, and his hair. This one looks better than anything else I've seen him wear.
Yeah,
his hair is more of a dirty green.
That's why I'm asking. Is it
interesting?
Intended to be like that? I would like it to bank Robert Joker, but yeah. So anyway, that's what I got new in my
and
collection.
On Target. So did you get the Target exclusive? Because then that looks Well, there you go. Yeah, it looks like the Target exclusive is a different. Yeah, that's a purposely different.
Okay.
So
well, it's fine because you know what? That's fine. That's good enough because I've got all the others, that you mentioned. So anyway, all right. With that, plug anything you'd like. We'll get the hell out of here.
Batman-on-film.com. Let's see here. Tomorrow, dropping, I guess, pending when this podcast drops, I will have a new episode of the Batman Book Club out where Micah Ramey joins me to talk the second half of Matt Wagner's Dark Moon Rising with Batman and the Mad Monk. Prepare yourself if you listen to it, though. It is about 75 minutes of us just gushing over that story because we're big fans of that one. So check that out. Bill always generously posts them on Batman on Film. Yeah, and then, I mean, other reviews is the main Batman title, comic book, and the White Knight Presents Generation Joker, which has also been really, really fun. A new issue of that's going to come out next week. So there you go.
All right. Well, I'll just echo batman-on-film.com and everything else. I figure announcer Rachel will cover that for us in the outro. And with that, we'll catch you next time.
You have been listening to the BOF Social Hour, Jet's official podcast on Batman on Film. Follow BOF on Threads at The Batman on Film. Follow BOF on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Batman on Film. To help keep BOF up and running, go to patreon.com/BatmanOnFilm, or you can buy BOF a beer at buymeacoffee.com/TheRealBatmanOnFilm. For Jet and everyone at BOF, I'm announcer Rachel. Authoritative, definitive, the original, Batman on Film, founded in 1998.